The most crazy balls photo shoot ever. Grandpa John takes a sound bath. And the suitors are forced to choose a bachelorette. It's a wild ride on week 3 of The Bachelorette Season 19. Ow, ow. You are watching Romance Recap, a weekly talk show on the Reader Seeks Romance channel that recaps and discusses dating reality shows. I am Liz Donatelli, and my co-host is Tiffany Current. We are deep diving into a historic season of The Bachelorette with 2 bachelorettes, Gabby Windy and Rachel Recchia. Be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss our weekly episodes. Hello, Tiffany.
We're here for another week. It was, as you said, a Crazy Balls episode. I felt like this, like for the suitors in some cases, like they're walking the plank, choose left, choose right. It's like you're walking to your doom. So much happened this episode. It was crazy, but I enjoyed it. I cried. I teared up at certain parts, but it was really good.
So Jesse, the host, who I really love that guy. I don't know. There's something about Jesse.
He's very broad. Like he's very, like I want to touch his chest. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, his chest is solid.
His chest is very solid, but he is comforting. He walks out and he's always ready to set the stage. And I'm ready to listen. I want to listen to what he has to say.
Absolutely. And he comes on the scene and he informs the suitors, there are 21 left at this point, that he tells them there will be 2 incredibly romantic one-on-one dates. I don't know. I think half of that is true. And then a massive group date. First date is for Rachel, and she has chosen Zach.
She's chosen Zach, which is very surprising. And what was even more surprising is that they show up at this date in Beverly Hills. He gets out of the car and he immediately kisses her.
Yes.
Did I miss something? Was there a moment between you guys that I missed? But he immediately kissed her and was kind of like on top of her. And I was like, I missed this relationship. Where was this last episode? But okay.
Yeah, he was a little aggressive with his kissing, but it felt desperate. It felt like if I don't keep kissing her, I'm out. You know, that's how I felt. There's an edge of desperation to Zach that some might find endearing.
I think she found it endearing, and then for some reason they walked into the hotel, and who was there?
Caramo?
From Queer Eye. I was like, okay, this is Italian. Exciting. And he basically says, I'm going to get you ready for this movie premiere and
red carpet ready.
Red carpet ready. And you see them. And this was kind of fun for me. They started putting on silly outfits and like spinning around. And it was to me.
Are you the type of person who
don't like anything? I love movie montages. And in every single movie montage, you have people putting on outfits. And that's what they were doing.
I don't like the dress up montage. I find that's a waste.
I'd
rather watch a hat montage.
That's a waste of
montage.
time. Why not watch a shoe montage? No, a dress montage is a lot of fun.
Yeah,
oh my God. That's something else altogether. I enjoyed it. I thought it was cute. They were having fun. They were being silly and I think kissing at some point. And then I think she puts on that final movie star outfit and he gives her like a really big compliment and she was super excited. And it was a cute start to the date, I think.
Yes, it was cute. It was cute that she picked the outfit that they had chosen for her before the segment even began. Two quick things.
Terrible.
Zach was asked to pop the champagne cork, and he wasn't totally confident he could pop the cork. Like he did it with hesitancy, and that bothered me. Like,
oh my God. I thought that was cute. I thought because he acted like he's like, yeah, I can pop it. He's like, actually, I don't know, maybe. And I thought that was a real moment.
No, I like competency. And even if you aren't sure, fake it. It's sexy to act like you know what you're doing.
Okay.
The other thing, how huge was that bowl of shrimp?
Oh my God. When I saw that bowl of shrimp, I was like, is somebody eating this? Like, why is it in my face? It was legit in my face. Like for some reason, it's like, is there like a shrimp crisis? And they just took all the shrimp and said, it's front and center. It was bizarre how they had that much shrimp in a bowl and no one ate it. Once again, the theme of the show, you have this fantastic looking food. No one eats.
I kept thinking of the scene in Beetlejuice where they have the shrimp cocktails in front and the shrimp hand reaches out and grabs their face. I wasn't sure if something was going to pop out of that bowl of shrimp because it was like front and center in one of the shots. I was like, why are we focusing on the shrimp? and it was absurd.
It's the star of the scene.
It was the star of the scene. And
it's the movie premiere for the shrimp. That's what it was. It was super weird.
That would have been awesome if the shrimp, they carried the shrimp on the red carpet.
They get to the red carpet, instead of it being called Me and You, it's Me, You, and the Shrimp, and it's like this whole little like sitcom that they're in.
He walked the red carpet, okay, and I'm thinking it's an actual movie premiere. So when I see that they're on the red carpet alone, and there's only like 4 fake photographers, they do not look like real paparazzi.
They're not real paparazzi.
I was like,
those are PAs, those are production assistants. Like, just give them a camera. We don't have the budget.
Yes.
They go to the El Capitan in LA. They sit in the theater and they're all by themselves. And as the curtains rise, Rachel is super excited, to the point where I was like, has she never been to a movie theater before? She's like, oh, the curtains are rising. I'm like, that happens sometimes. Like, what's to reveal a man in a piano? I think they named his name Matt White. I don't know. I'm like, he must be somebody. He must be a pianist that we should know.
I guess so. Yeah.
Then they proceed to have, in my opinion, an in memoriam. It was basically like an in memoriam, like at the Oscars, where it's just like do 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 do, and then we see these memories, videos of them growing up, and I was like, "What is happening? What is happening?"
Yeah, the music did not match the mood. Yeah, the mood was somber. It was almost right, like they were going to be doing all the people in their lives that died,
that passed away. Yeah, I know. I was like, somebody needed a candle. It was very dramatic for this memory reel.
I did think that it was sweet having their home movies. I did feel emotional as someone who grew up always watching home movies of when I was a kid. It's emotional, and each of their mothers delivered a message at the end of, their reel.
It was very sweet. It was very sweet.
It was very sweet. I mean, she's crying. He was tearing up. Rachel said, I feel like I've known you for weeks. And I thought that was a pretty smart move on whoever planned this date, because that is a way to quickly kind of you start getting to the heart of the person by seeing them, not performing, but in their natural environment as kids and everything. So I thought that was really sweet. And Zach is like, I'm falling for her. This is real. And she's just effusive with her emotions about Zach, and it doesn't stop her from kissing everyone else in the rest of the episode.
That's later on. They kiss, and apparently they bond over the fact that his dad loves planes and her dad loves planes. Like, we're the same person, and then they make out again. I'm like, all right, that's cool. You guys both like planes. That's exciting. So Rachel was having.
Funny if they found out they had the same dad. Be like, wait a second.
At the very end of the Bachelorette, they do like a genealogy. Like, it's 23andMe. It's you and me are.
Great tie-in. That'd be an awesome tie-in.
Rachel was having the time of her life. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Gabby goes and does a surprise visit to the guy's house, and no one is giving her any attention. This girl is dressed to the nines in a super cute outfit, short shorts, tank top. No one is giving her any attention. They're playing football.
They're playing football. They're playing football. I felt that they were showing off. Here's my take. I know she was kind of upset with the suitors' lack of effort, their lack of interest in getting to know her, to progress things in any way. But I think they're intimidated by her. I think they're intimidated by her. And
she comes off with a lot of confidence. She does come off with a lot of confidence.
And I'm not saying that because she's doing anything wrong. I think it's just because the way she carries herself, she is she's very independent, and she's very, very beautiful. So I think that it intimidates them. So their whole way of connecting with her is to show off their football skills, but it was just weird and awkward and didn't do anything to
it was super weird, and it only led to Gabby going off to have a breakdown ugly crying,
Yeah.
and basically just feeling really self-conscious about herself. I felt really bad for her.
I really felt for her. She said something that, throughout the episode, we'll mention it, but she just feels unworthy. Like, am I worthy of love?
I know.
And she says, I deserve to be loved, but do I deserve to be loved by the person that I want to be loved by? And that's just like, that's a
breaks
question
my
I
heart.
think we've all had to deal with at one point, or a thought that we've all thought
I know.
Journeys.
She was breaking my heart, but she pulls it together enough to basically give a date card to Eric, and she brings along her grandpa John. And I was like, Grandpa John, he gets a scene.
Grandpa John is adorable.
He's adorable. He has so much energy. He's like really cool sweaters, What's
funny is everyone else is dressed like it's summer and he's piling on the winter clothes. So
he's like, what are you talking about? It's, it's 40 degrees. So they proceed to go on this date to this Scientology type shaped golf ball. I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like a yurt. One of those like tent houses. I don't know.
It was a weird tent in like the wilderness, and they're going to do a what did you call it?
It's a sound bath, and I actually have done that in Los Angeles. And
that's a very LA thing to do.
It is. It's sound healing. It's basically sound meditation.
Okay.
They play the bowls. They take like a little.
Is that what it was like that giant wine glass? The leader was swirling around that giant wine glass.
It's called a singing bowl, I believe. And you actually feel the vibrations in your body, and it's actually kind of like an internal massage. And it's supposed to align your chakras and your energy and get you, up to snuff, I guess. So it's actually really, really relaxing. And but I don't count it as a romantic date. I wouldn't do that as a date.
It sounded like Gabby really needed it. She's like, I need to clear my head. I need to like get back to being me. And I think at that moment it helped her.
It did.
At that moment, and from there they went bowling and they had some fun, and then they kissed. They did have a very nice kiss at the bowling alley. I don't know if you remember that. I liked it.
Yeah, there was some kisses. Eric is a good kisser. He's a confident kisser.
He is a confident kisser.
Gabby got her Grandpa John like a bowling date. She grabbed.
I know, she was doing a hookup randomly. Yeah,
and they seem to be hitting it off. Grandpa John seems a little frisky. I'll be honest.
He seems frisky. I feel like this is a spinoff show. I feel like he's gonna get his own dating show, Dating with Grandpa John.
Oh.
I would watch it. It would just be, I don't know, him in his sweaters and like dating older women. I don't know what they would do. Eating Cheetos. I don't know what happens, but it sounds
instead
enjoyable.
of giving the woman a rose, he gives them a sweater. No. He gives them his sweater.
And
he's like, will you take my sweater? She's like, okay. And she holds it for him.
Oh, I like it. Or like it's a cardigan. Like she ties the cardigan. I like that he would tie the cardigan around.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. I like that idea. Dating Grandpa John. Let's make that happen.
I like it. It's done. They leave bowling to go on their own private date.
Yes. A little dinner.
Outside dinner, and that's when they start having an actual serious conversation about families, and we discovered that Eric had a great family upbringing, really loving parent, and that really hit a chord with Gabby because she said she's estranged from her mom, and Gabby in this in my opinion, so Gabby is getting very emotional here, and she kind of like starts to like break down a little bit, and Eric does nothing. He does not reach out to put his hand on her knee. He does not say, are you okay? He does not say, I'm here for you. He just sits there and stares at her slowly, breaking down. That bothered me.
Oh, that bothered me too.
That wasn't the moment, but that bothered me. I was like, can you just touch her or give her compassion for this moment?
The fact that wasn't a natural inclination for him to touch her or to try to comfort her is a huge red flag.
Huge red flag. I was like, man, this guy is just watching this poor girl.
He's watching, and he looked almost like he zoned out. He like zoned out. He was just like, I'm gonna separate myself from this. But
he's just like, she's a crazy ball. I don't know what's happening, but I gotta.
Well, right. I felt like he was just like, okay, let's just wait for her to let's wait for this to pass. Um, you know, but she ended up seeking solace from the
She
producer.
had
She
to.
walked,
He
she
wasn't
walked
giving her
off.
solace. So she's like, let me go talk to somebody who will give me a hug. And she goes to talk to
Yeah.
the producer, and she has the most heartbreaking conversation for me of the
Yes. Oh my
show when she
God.
basically says that she feels she may be too complicated to love. It broke my heart. She's just like, Rachel is so easy, and people might want to have Rachel, but I'm just so messy and complicated. And it
Yeah.
was like, ugh.
She goes back after giving Eric some time maybe to think, maybe I should say something. When she comes back, he awkwardly like tries to tell her it's okay and I understand. Like I don't even know, whatever he said, it just didn't it was very stilted. But she, loved that he said anything to her, and she gave him the rose. I was like,
Not only did she give him
yeah,
the rose,
yeah,
she basically apologizes and says, like, I'm not
true,
worthy
yeah,
and etc. And I had a
yeah,
great time with you. But then she proceeds to sit on his lap
yeah,
again, because she sat on
yeah,
his lap multiple times in multiple episodes,
yep,
and starts making out with him. And it was that moment
yeah,
that I was like, oh my God, I'm so concerned for you right now. I felt like I heard
yeah.
like the Jaws music of like danger coming, because I was like, this guy, he's gonna break your heart. I just feel it. I don't know if it's true.
Yeah.
I don't think he knows how to deal with somebody like that. That's that emotional.
Yeah,
And it worries me. It worries me.
I don't think he's emotionally mature enough. I forget his
Yes.
age, although I guess that doesn't necessarily matter.
I am concerned for her. When she got in his lap, I was like, no, we should be going for Nate. Nate knows how to handle your emotion.
I write that later on in my notes in big letters. Nate loves you, Gabby. Like,
Yes. Gabby, I think it's because of everything she's been through.
yeah,
She still hasn't, as I guess, as Patty the Millionaire Matchmaker would say, she has a bad picker, I think.
yeah.
Maybe down the line, Eric will open up more and he'll unpeel his layers and we'll learn something deeper about
Maybe.
him, but I'm just not there yet.
What's unfortunate is that for the amount of men who are into Gabby, it's just those few that have made her doubt herself. It's like it just
Yes.
takes one negative look or one negative comment for heart to crumble. And we've
Just
all
fall apart.
experienced that. Like no
Yeah.
matter how many people love us, if the one person has something bad to say, it's like, oh, I'm just not worth anything.
She's nothing.
So I think right now she's really a relatable protagonist in this love story.
I love her. I think she's great. And they go to this big photo shoot and the girls are in white, like they're getting married. And for some reason, the guys have to go off and get dressed up in the weirdest outfits. We had people in diapers. We had Fabio wearing, I guess, a leaf. We had, cowboys. I don't know what was happening. It was bazonkers.
One thing about Jacob, aka Fabio, he picks, as you mentioned, the leaf for a photo shoot with Gabby that's like Adam and Eve. And I don't know where his mind was at, but he starts talking about how he has two switches, on and more on.
Okay. I missed that. And I wish I had never heard that. But okay.
He says this, and I said, I don't understand what I mean, he's definitely not selling himself. And
yes,
I totally believe what he says. That those are his two switches based on some of the things he says. I would like to point out the most disturbing photo scenario that was created and captured by the lens. It is Avon pretending to be pregnant.
Oh my God.
And Rachel they kept saying she's the father. And he gave birth to Meatball, aka James, dressed as a baby with a diaper.
Yes, that is correct.
And I was just really put off by this. I feel like, why are we trying to humiliate the guys? Although everyone keeps saying, oh, it's just to see how fun you can be.
It's very like
just
Junior, like Junior with Arnold Schwarzenegger and like Danny DeVito. It was super weird and uncomfortable. But then finally we have like the fake proposals, and there's some guys dressed in real suits and they do the fake proposals.
Yeah.
And a few people fake propose to Rachel and their heart isn't in it. But then.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
But then Gabby gets up there. And we hear Nate's inner thoughts before he goes up, and he's basically reiterating how much he really likes Gabby. And he said, like, seeing her in that white dress makes him even like her and even more. And he gets up there and he basically starts doing a real proposal. It was like a legit real proposal saying these beautiful things about her. And I think he eventually says, "Forever with you can never be long enough." And I was like, I'm done. And she was clearly very emotional about it. He got up afterwards, they kissed, and I was like, Nate, he's the one. He's the one.
He is the one. He's got a deeply nurturing and understanding side, which I'm sure has been developed further by having a daughter. So I think, I think he's a really good pick for her. Honestly, like I was kind of hoping that it was a surprise proposal. I don't know if that's ever been done, but I was like,
and then that's like the end of that's the end of the show. That would have been exciting. Look, all I know is when I was watching that scene, as you're saying, I'm thinking this is the type of guy that she needs in her life. She needs this type of nurturing person that could help her through her emotions. But anyway,
she does. So now we head to SoFi Stadium, home of the LA Rams and the Los Angeles Chargers.
Our final group date. And can I just say, this was like the Rachel show. It was like a Rachel kissing show. I felt like it was like Oprah Winfrey back in the day. It was like, you get a kiss, you get a kiss, you get a kiss, you get a kiss. Everybody gets a kiss. It was like she was going around kissing everyone with a face, which was her right.
It's her right, but I felt like she was doing Zach wrong. Like she just said how much she's into Zach and they bonded. And here she is like having feelings with other people and kissing them. And I understand that's how it works.
Everyone.
But it makes it feel disingenuous what she said about Zach, because on the football field, it's game on.
Man, I feel like out of all the kisses she had, I thought the one with Gino, when she was sitting on the couch, was the best kiss.
With Tino?
Was it Tino or Gino? Is it Gino or Tino?
It's Tino.
I can't get any of these guys' names right. But he had the best kiss for me. I felt like it was like deep and intense, and she just kind of like threw herself into him. That was the best kiss for me.
She mounted Tino and was all over him. I think it's the only way they can really make out properly because he's so tall. That's why I think I like him. He was laying down like that. I don't know. I don't know if Tino's really has his heart in the right place, but okay.
I don't know, but I will say this. While Rachel is kissing every single person in the world,
collecting kisses, yes.
Just, swapping saliva everywhere.
Oh, she makes out hard. Rachel makes out hard with Hayden in the end zone.
That's true. What I thought was funny about that one is the fact that he was trying to have a conversation with her and she kept like interrupting him with kisses. She's like, "Why are you talking?" Like he's like, "I'm just trying to tell you who I am." And she did not care. She's like, "I want those lips."
She was aggressive.
Put those lips on my lips.
She was aggressive with Hayden. I mean, he is adorable.
Yeah, she was very aggressive.
You're right. I felt like that's all she really wanted. I thought the end zone kiss was kind of unique and sexy.
That was cute. That was cute and sexy. But I will say during this time, once again, we cut to Gabby, and Gabby is getting torn apart by these men. First, he was sweet. I believe it was Tyler. He politely says that he just likes Rachel better. Very polite. Very nice. Yeah. Then your boy, Hayden.
You call him my boy.
Your boy Hayden comes up.
He's not my boy.
Not anymore. Not after this conversation. He goes up and he basically says, Rachel is more of my fit. I was like, all right. Then he says, like, we have more of the same values and you're a little rough around the edges.
Yes.
That's like the most harsh thing. I don't know how he thought that'd be a nice way of letting someone down to say that you're rough around the edges. It's crazy.
Hayden, for some reason, was so self-satisfied as if, wow, I really handled that well. And he's just smiling. He's just smiling like, I got that right.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
That proceeded to break Gabby down, who was then followed up by Fabio, whatever his real name is.
Jacob,
who said that he doesn't feel like he has a connection with her. And she just kind of broke down after that point because these men were being a little hostile in their breakups with her.
Well, Jacob is a moron. That's what he said earlier. He's either on a moron, and right now he was a moron because what he said to Gabby was, even if you were the only person here, I wouldn't have the heart to continue.
He was like, I'm going to really rub it in.
Yeah. He goes, because, we're looking for someone, to spend the rest of our effing lives with here, like as if to say, I can't mess around. He goes, but you're smoking. He goes, but you're smoking hot.
You're smoking. And he's like, let's do shots. Let's go back and have fun. Did you not were you in this conversation? Did you not just hear what you said to me? The way that he ended it, like, let's go have some fun. Yeah. I was like, are we at a club right now? Like, what's happening?
he was like a caveman. I couldn't deal with him. Jacob and Hayden gave her the 1-2 punch. They got to the heart of her insecurities with what they said, and of course they're not meaning to. They just
dug it up.
Yeah, and they dug it.
They did. They dug it up.
So yeah.
Gabby's basically crying on the floor about this. And then we go to collect the roses, and Rachel's like, oh, this has been a fantastic night because I kissed 25 guys. And she gives her rose to Avon, right?
Yes, she does. And
then they're like, where's Gabby? Where's Gabby? Gabby walks in, and I can just feel it the way she's walking when she sits down, and she's holding it together. She's trying very hard not to break down on camera. And she says, I just can't give out a rose tonight. Rachel is shocked. I'm not that shocked. They get up and walk away. Gabby tells her what happened, and she tells Rachel who said it. She says that it's Hayden. She says that it's Fabio/Jacob. And I thought that Rachel heard her say who the perpetrators were, but clearly later that's not the case. We'll come to that.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was very clear. And when Rachel heard everything that had transpired while she was lip locking with everyone, she was aghast. She was like, ready to make it right. She's like, do you want to address this? Do you want to? And Gabby's like, no, let's just move on. Let's not, I'm not here to teach these guys how to behave. I'm here to find love. And so, and Gabby and Rachel embrace, and you're like, okay, they're on the same page. Well, later.
So we thought they end up canceling the cocktail party. They're going to go straight to the rose ceremony, and now the rules have changed.
Yes.
If a person gives you the rose, then you're going to be dating that specific person. So you have to decide now who you're there for, Rachel or Gabby. And then this dramatic rose ceremony begins. And I gotta say, I'm not a hater against Rachel, but when 3 of the guys declined her rose, I have to say, I felt a little happy for Gabby there. I was like, oh, good. Gabby needed that. And Rachel also needed it as well, because it's like, I don't know, it was too much for me.
I thought it balanced everything. I was like, okay, well, Gabby, had a crappy first part, and now Rachel is experiencing a little bit of what Gabby is experiencing. So I felt like it was putting them on an even playing field. I thought that Rachel acted like a complete brat.
What do you mean? Why?
Because first of all, Rachel had been having
strong words.
Rachel had been having all of this great, these great dates and connecting with people, and everyone adores her. And then she has 3 bachelors in a row decline her rose because the intention is, well, I like Gabby better. So we have Tremaine turns down Rachel, the other Alec and Meatball.
Yep.
Okay. And she gets 1, 2, 3. Rachel starts saying, if I am rejected one more time, I'm going to go home to Florida. And I feel like that's very dramatic, especially being you've forged much stronger connections with these other men who accepted your rose. Everything's going well. You're forcing the suitors to choose. You can't then be upset because they're not choosing you, Rachel. How much love do you want? Rachel and Gabby take a break because it's becoming too much for Rachel. And Rachel totally negates Gabby's experience because Gabby's like, I understand.
I understand. This is what happened to me yesterday.
And Rachel says, but what you experienced, that rejection was private. I'm humiliated because this is public. And I thought that was awful. I thought that was an awful thing to say to a friend, to be like, well, you might be upset, but what happened to me was worse. And that's not true. What Gabby experienced was worse. So Rachel, you've got to calm down. Rachel.
Well, what killed me about that moment is that they go back and basically Gabby, everyone accepted Gabby's roses. Rachel, because people kept rejecting her, the very last rose she gives out is to Hayden.
Oh, hell no!
And now when that happened, I was like, you've just lost my respect. This guy legit just told your friend that she's rough around the edges, sent her into a tailspin. You're like, you know what? I'm going to pick him to potentially date in the show.
Yeah. First of all, I couldn't believe it. Like I even wrote in my notes, wait, why did Rachel offer Hayden rose? Question mark, exclamation, exclamation. But then I said, wait a second, maybe this is a brilliant like revenge plot. I thought that she was going to offer him the rose and say, you know what, on second thought, no, because of how you talked to Gabby. So I actually thought this was part of a trick. So I was like, wait a second.
You're like, okay, wait, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
And then
why isn't it happening?
I don't understand it at all. You're right. I lost respect for her, but then I'm like, well, maybe in the next episode she's gonna get back at him. Maybe we have to wait for it. I don't know. So to recap, the suitors who are now pursuing Rachel exclusively are Avon, Zach, Tino, Logan, Jordan, Tyler, Ethan, and Hayden. Okay. And the suitors exclusively pursuing Gabby are Quincy, Kirk, Eric, Nate, Spencer, Jason, Mario, Johnny, and Michael. Okay. Now the thing is that the guys who rejected Rachel's rose then had to go back, on the dais, I guess.
And Gabby did not pick them.
So the suitors who are gone are Meatball, Jacob, Tremaine, and Alec.
Bye, 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 yeah.
And we thought that was the end of the show. We thought it was done. They're gone.
Right.
Cut to the credits. Who do we see? Yeah. Again in the credits. This is the second week he's in the credits.
Yeah.
Meatball. It's crazy. Yeah. Meatball coming back, asking Rachel, oh, can we talk for a minute? Like, you know where this is going. Like, can we talk for a minute? I mean, like, I like Gabby, but I haven't had really a chance to talk to you. And basically he's asking for a second chance.
Rachel is like, I gave you a rose and you, said no. So we're left with a cliffhanger. We'll see if Meatball is accepted back into Bachelorette Mansion.
I like Meatball. I hope he comes back.
Who would you like to see for Gabby? Who would you like to see for Rachel when, the finale arrives? What are you thinking?
For sure, Gabby, Nate. Nate for me is the perfect person for Gabby. He seems like the right fit for her. When it comes to Rachel, I don't know. I want to say probably, is it Tino? I guess Tino probably for me, for Rachel.
Okay.
What about you?
Definitely, I would like to see Nate with Gabby. I think he will protect her heart. I think he will, he's a very considerate, thoughtful individual. He seems genuinely into her and only her. And I don't think I think he's always been very targeted on Gabby. As far as Rachel, I actually think that Zach would be a good fit because I think he would be a good fit. It seems like their childhoods are in alignment. I mean, he's a little bit, cardboard,
like a cardboard box. Yeah, I know. We both think, so that says something. Yeah,
he's a little bit cardboard, but I feel like she's got all this personality, so she can't be with someone like Logan. They're too much charm and personality.
It's not going to work.
I think she needs a little bit someone who's going to be kind of a solid, stable, a little bit bland, a little bit.
And Zach would be that person.
So that's what I think would be, that's who I'd like to see couple up. I mean, is that going to happen? Only time will tell.
We're going to have to watch next week to find out.
Well, Tiffany, this week I developed a lot of clarity about our relationship.
Yes.
The journey is far from over to love.
To love.